Hi everyone, welcome to Marianne's Mystic Mentions. I'm Marianne. Welcome to your first half of the month of December readings. December, the last month of 2021. And yeah, quite the year. Many opportunities for change and growth, and releasing was, I think, one of the main themes that I kept hearing and I felt throughout the year. And that can still happen. We are... Well, here's the format for those that are new. Welcome. I am grateful to have you stopping in on my channel. There's so many beautiful, phenomenal readers and tarot readers. I am a tarot reader of about 30-something odd years, an intuitive reader. I do read the symbolisms as I've learned them, and sometimes other messages come through, so I just speak of those as they happen. And then, of course, I do have a very strong passion for love connections of all types, not just romantic, but certainly romantic and family, things that love, and it's just the most powerful energy, and it's something that, you know, just builds and builds to better and better kind of relationships, circumstances, life, the world, and so on, you know. So I like to spread that and feel it and share it as much as I can. And so what I do is I read a reading for every single, what I call featured sign, for, you know, the beginning of half of the month and then the second half of the month. If you didn't get a chance to check out your end of November, you might want to do that, because there's some really beautiful, powerful energies that will last even through December and onward that have happened in November. Specifically, the beautiful partial lunar eclipse, full moon in Taurus that happened on the 19th of December. And I will speak of 2 or 3 really important aspects as far as astrology. I always do, because it really does affect us. And some people are major astrologists. Excuse me, I knew I meant to bring water. I'm not a professional astrologist per se. I'm just an enthusiast, and I study it every chance I get. And I'm really taken in by how incredibly accurate it is to circumstances that happen in the world at large, and certainly individually, you know, as well. But it's really fascinating. And of course, full moons, new moons, they affect us every month. They are a change in the energy, the rhythm, and the phase of the month and stuff. We can look and see it, which I love. It really makes it so much more real, right? It's really there. There's the moon. It controls the tides. It certainly controls us. There's more emotion. Full moons are, of course, lighting things up and bringing things to a culmination, and therefore beginnings happen after, which leads me to the fact that the first new moon will be on December 4th in Sagittarius, which is going to be the first solar eclipse moon of the month, of course. Now, here's the thing. When we have eclipses, they're huge, they're very transformational. They bring things in quickly in our lives. They can transform things in a heartbeat, as well as continue to show us and guide us for longer periods of time, you know, with little bits of information as it goes along, upwards of 6 months to a year. So that's why I mentioned about the full moon lunar eclipse, which will continue to affect us all through December and longer. And that was in Taurus, a very earth, you know, Venus ruled, sensual, grounded, romantic, you know, practical sign that has to do with our daily endeavors, which is interesting because we're going into, starting January, our 6th year, numerology wise. We have had a 5-year. 5 years represent change and challenge and, you know, expansion and growth and new ideas and so on and so forth, and transformation, absolutely. And then 6 years that we're approaching are more of a balanced and more calmer, and I feel that, like I said, with the earth energy of Taurus, and although it's Uranus is in Taurus, is in the sun. Uranus is in the sign of Taurus. I'm sorry, I always kind of mix that up. Uranus, the outer planet that's huge and impactful and very freedom-seeking and exciting and surprise-filled, technology, you know, oriented, medicine, you know, just breaking barriers, breaking boundaries, you know, just amazing transformations from Uranus in a very quick time sometimes. Sometimes it takes longer, of course, but sometimes it comes out of nowhere, or so it seems. And that's been an influence with this earthly, you know, steadfast, you know, structured. It's like it's just an oxymoron for sure. So there's the balance we need to find at all times with that. And so, yeah, we're going to have the Earth. We do have Venus, a beautiful Venetian planet, it rules Taurus. You know, it's all very neatly kind of packaged and making sense in a lot of ways, and the feelings that we may be feeling that are very different than what has happened for most of this year, going into a 6th year of more calming, balancing, working together, achievements, definitely working to achieve stuff, but definitely feeling the results and feeling like you're not alone, caring more about the environment, our bodies, ourself, you know, which is always so important. I only really started realizing in the last, I want to say 10, but I think it's more like 5 years, to be real with you. And I still work at it, but it's so important, and that'll be brought to the forefront more. So the new moons are always about, you know, something new and exciting, something that you have intentions on, or businesses, relationships, and, you know, just the list goes on. Financial endeavors, you know, just exciting things, because Sagittarius is one of the most fun season. It's fiery, and it's ambitious, and it's adventurous, and it's freedom seeking, and it's definitely about, you know, truth and higher learning and educating. And did I say freedom? Because there's a lot of travel and you know, just love of that when it comes to Sagittarius. So parties and fun and holidays. So if you were able to celebrate, and you did celebrate Thanksgiving, I'm actually doing these readings at the latter part of November. I hope you had a beautiful time, and it was just, most importantly, a healthy and emotionally and physically time where you were able to really just feel such love for being with family and not having to feel like that's not a part of our lives like it had felt in the last couple of years. So I know I certainly did. And I'm very grateful for that. And so let's get on to your reading. So for featured signs, I always go around the zodiac wheel, starting with Aries. And today I'm on the beautiful, mutable air sign, Mercury ruled, very clear thinking sign, very interested in knowledge and education and information and sharing it, and, you know, in all forms of speaking, written form, just connection, you know, movement, motivation, sign of Gemini. Gemini, we have the North Node, which is basically known as, you know, that'll be changing in January, but it's going to be from Gemini to Taurus. It is a time when we kind of focus in on our life path and our truest desires from our soul, you know. And that's been in Gemini, so that's been a lot about communication and educating ourselves and really thinking outside of the box again, and being open to change and not being stuck in a certain way. And Sagittarius season is so beautifully complementary for you. I know so many couples that are Sagittarius and Gemini, and I have had quite a bit of clients as a massage therapist, which is what I do as my day job and night job. And a lot of Geminis have been coming in. I thought, how interesting. Because I think a lot of this understandable energy, as I mentioned, from Taurus, and then Venus, the planet of love and money and, you know, magic and relationships and caring for ourselves, beauty, you know, and taking care of ourselves, aesthetic beauty, wanting to redo our environment, or, you know, just become a part of a new aspect of our life that has to do with that in some way. That is in the sign of Capricorn. So Capricorn, once again, another earth sign, you know, and Capricorn is very much about motivation and success, and, you know, I'm going to make this happen, and ruled by Saturn, which is very structured and, you know, very constricted in some ways, because it's like there's not a lot of extra curricular activities. It's just focus of, you know, eye on the prize kind of attitude with Capricorns, and they're very successful for that reason. So you always want to have someone like that in your, you know, your friends or your relationships, because it's a really positive influence. So Venus will stay in Capricorn for a very long time because it goes into retrograde. We're in the shadow period. It retrogrades on December 19th through the 29th of January, and then it goes into the shadow period to like the first 3 days of March. So when it's in retrograde, you want to be careful of not overdoing things as far as beauty goes aesthetically. Like if you want any plastic surgery or anything, tattoos and stuff like that that are permanent, think twice, okay? Just give it a little more time, latter part of February, beginning of March, to really do your study due diligence and make sure it's exactly what you want, because you want to do things that you can If you make a mistake like a haircut, hair goes back, right? That sort of thing. Relationships, not always the best time to get back with somebody or go into one because you want to desperately during this time. That's the irony. But you need to really just kind of realize you're under the guise and the Venetian energy of, love and magic and everything is so beautiful. And is it really? So, yeah. So I'm reading for you as your featured sign and your highlighted sign, Gemini, which is a person or, an energy or the characteristics that are going to be predominant for some reason for a lot of you. Not all of you. Hopefully all of you will resonate with everything being said, but that's not always the case. So that's why I say, you can always watch your sun, moon, rising, and Venus placements for even more information, because sometimes you resonate more with those. And then I read the 4 categories for this highlighted connection for you, Gemini, and all of your relationships. I know you have a ton of people and friends in your, black books, blue books, whatever color it is, both genders, because you're very sociable and very fun and, witty and clever and quick and just, yeah, you keep it going. You keep people like inspired and interested. So your highlighted connection, put that down there, for the first half of December is Pisces. How interesting. So that was the highlighted connection for Aries. And for me, I wouldn't be surprised if it keeps coming up, but I'm not going to do it for more than 2 of the highlighted because I just think it's fair to try to get along. And I always understand that. Spirit gets it. This is my routine. Spirit just tells me what's up, okay? But I like the idea of Pisces. Pisces is excellent. It's a good combination for you. It is a very watery, receptive, emotional sign. Very sensitive, very in tune, very psychic, and a lot of times they're empaths because they feel people's energy. They feel all energy. They are the old soul, the spiritual, mutable sign like you. So that's really cool because, they want to keep things going. They don't want any real boundaries. They like that freedom. They like their own time. A lot of them are definitely entrepreneurs that own their own business, so they could set their own time and they know what they want. They are perfectionists in some ways, and they can get along with pretty much everybody, but sometimes it's good to have your own timeline and that sort of thing. Not that they're not capable of following the rules and being extremely good in hierarchy kind of companies. I've seen that too, but I'm just saying they're very creative, very, very talented. They're the chameleon. They can be all different types of personalities, and they do really well in the arts, and they have that beautiful sensitive quality to them that just their ideas and their imagination is just phenomenal, along with their intuition and such. And we have Neptune in the sign of Pisces. We have for a while. It'll be there for a very long time, and I'm not sure exactly, forgive me, but Neptune stations direct in December at the beginning, I think. And that's been, retrograde for some time. So a lot of the cloudiness and vague kind of murky aspects of Neptune, is that really what's happening? Kind of rose-colored glasses looking at the world, especially when it's in retrograde. Well, now it's going to go forward, so it's going to be more clear. Intuition is going to be incredible. But the main thing is that Jupiter goes from Aquarius, where it's been this whole year, well, with a couple of exceptions of retrograding into Pisces for 2.5 months. Between May and July, it is going into Pisces for the majority of 2022. So, woohoo! Talk about love and healing and sensitivity and just this incredible ability to just kind of feel and we'll have great dreams. We'll have prophetic dreams. We'll have inspirations. We'll be able to follow through on them. There'll be a calmer, let's just love and be loving, as opposed to an air sign like I am and that you are, Gemini, where it's very much about the mind and we kind of detach that. You're going to be feeling the emotions, and it's going to be beautiful because we all have them. We just, like I said, kind of tuck them away at times when we're trying to be more serious or whatnot. And we don't want to be too serious ever. So I love this for you. And yeah, well, historically, Jupiter has been the ruling planet of Pisces. So it's very comfortable in Pisces. And I think some amazing things. If you have any water at all in your chart, specifically Pisces, you're going to feel it more than someone who doesn't. But we're all going to get those blessings, as we always do with Jupiter, the benevolent planet. Happens and comes in our sign every 12 years. So that's beautiful news. let's move on to the reading, because I can talk forever. And I really, really love this deck that I brought out for the first half of December. It is the Star-Seated, I kept saying that, I don't know why, the Star Spinner Tarot. I got this not that long ago. I love the way it feels. I love the illustrations, and it's got a lavender, beautiful back to it. So overall energy, bringing you to the reading, Gemini. Good energy already. So I've had some really powerful readings so far, and they're very informative and very helpful for the possible challenging aspects too. That's what it's all about. It's just guidance. You know, we take it as we will, and we don't have to at all. But I love getting that. I feel like it's a protection for me just to go, oh, I want to keep that in mind. It may not affect me that way, but if I see or sense the energy that's being spoken about approaching me in a way that I don't think would be great, I can work with that. I am in control of how I react to everything. So that's the best part of it, and what I love about astrology and tarot and how they intertwine with each other. So your overall energy for the highlighted connection for sure of Gemini and Pisces, but all your relationships for first half of, oh gosh, that's so beautiful. Let me put on my glasses. First half of December, let me make sure that the deck is in the right direction. Okay, is the Eight of Wands. Wow, talk about passionate, fiery, fast-moving, perfect for you and your energy, Gemini. And these ones are gorgeous because they have all the stars. The stars is the Aquarian symbolism, you know, and we had Jupiter in Aquarius until I think it's December 28th, 29th when it goes into Pisces. So there's still a bunch of wishes and dreams that are going to happen and be made very, very clear and put out into the universe with this new moon in Sagittarius, which once again is an eclipse, will last for 6 months or longer. So really believe it, write it down, feel it, imagine it, but feel it. It's mostly about feeling, so you can bring it into tangible, physical, you know, status. That's fantastic. 8 is a very powerful, abundant, and prosperous number. So don't be surprised at how quickly things may transpire between this reading, whenever you read it, and the actual occurrence. And I think a lot of the steps have already taken and gone in place. So I always want to say in regards to the retrograde Venus aspect that I mentioned, if you've already planned something from way prior and you were just waiting for, you know, this, that, and the other, that's an exception to all retrograde rules. Otherwise, you don't want to start something. It won't necessarily last or certainly be the same right at the beginning of a retrograde in Venus, which has to do with money and relationships and all the things I mentioned. Mercury, actually, we have one Mercury retrograde too in January. So that's another reason. Just kind of really just enjoy the holidays, have fun, do your planning, because I know you're always thinking, always wanting to, you know, make sure you're on top of stuff, and that's essential, just to be real about it. But also know that, you know, in the beginning really will be kind of like in later February and March, like it is for astrology when we start with Aries, the first sign of the zodiac, you know, in the end of March. So yeah, I love it. And the yellow really represents the solar plexus of power and courage and, you know, motivation and movement. So fantastic. Beautiful start. Your second category is possible blessings or obstacles. Are these upside down? I don't know what's happening, but you have the King of Swords. Well, there you go. It could be you. There's the element of air. And I don't know if I mentioned, but wands are definitely fire, so it's perfect. You're feeling the energy. And the new moon, because we're already feeling the energy for the eclipses. They usually can affect us a month before, even a month after. But it's right around the corner, the 4th, with the solar eclipse in Sagittarius. So I think it's already just been activated. You're just waiting. You're just excited. You know something's coming. It's going to be known, and you can move on. But this is the King of Swords, and this is you, or Libra, or Gemini. You're the Gemini, or an Aquarius, excuse me. And I don't know if you haven't seen my channel, I've been watching and listening to the best, in my opinion, astrologists about the trends and phases, which is what astrology is about too, from, you know, thousands of years ago, and comparing notes and such. And there's going to be a lot more air energy that's going to affect us in the planets for 20 years for sure, but then even more. They will be the predominant, which has not been that way for 600 plus years. So it is a new time, and it is about our mind and expression and information and educating, like I said, and speaking, and a lot more having to do with communicating in some form or another. So the king is the mature. It's very much about success. It's about, I would say, hierarchy as far as medicine, maybe, if you're looking into or interested in something having to do with your health or any kind of operation or surgeries or like that. You can talk to the best of the best, the specialist, and get the real straight lowdown. No mincing of words. This is truth, fairness, justice, success. I feel great success in whatever connections you're about to make. And it looks as though there's a few options as well. So could be you starting a brand new business and being, the CEO, and just you lay out the mission statement. You lay out exactly how you want it to be. You've done this before, or you've thought about it enough to, you feel like you have. You're ready, you're more than ready, and it's the time. There's no time like the present. If not now, then when? And so the third category in conjunction with this, of course, I think is important, is the one of finances. And it does have to do with wealth, and it does have to do with your belief in that and so forth, and also, how you are feeling about that. Is it about money, or is it about your relationships? Is it about your well-being and health, which is going to be very accented? And if you have the slightest thing that's not going right, take care of that first. Let that be your priority. Okay? A lot of us have had phantom pains and things in the last 2 years, which will happen from stress. It just does. As a massage therapist, I'm so grateful to be able to help people that weren't able to get to me. And I'm still seeing people, they said it's been over a year since they've had a massage. And they know it's not going to happen in a heartbeat, but boy, it feels good for them to recognize the importance of taking care of that so they can feel good and be their best in whatever they do. I'm very happy to take part in that in any way. So your financial card, Gemini, is the Two of Swords. So I've gotten this for other readings so far, and I haven't done that many readings yet, but to me, once again, it's very much in your element. It's very much about your choices. You could have two. You could be at a crossroads. It's known for being the card of crossroads, but I also feel like you have two opportunities, is how I feel. So yes, it's a crossroads in some ways, but with just some time to think and really, investigate, or as I said, do your due diligence. Either choice is going to be good for you, okay? When you take the one away, you have the one. So there's always the ace, which is the beginning, and the power. And it could be a partnership, for heaven's sakes, of course, and the right person, possibly of the same, elements as yourself. That's very much a part of that. As you're seeing with this King of Swords, it doesn't matter about the gender. If it's not you, you're in close proximity, or there's somebody of hierarchy, or, there's a masculine energy for sure. But, as air signs, we are masculine, and then, of course, we have the feminine duality in this as well, with different aspects and everything, and the beautiful Venus energy coming through for a long time, with Capricorn and Taurus, as a very grounded, long-term investment of whatever. Now, as far as money, you will make the right choice. I think this is the new moon going into the full. So between the new moon, which, by the way, I wasn't going to say much about it, the full moon in December on the 18th will be in your sign, Gemini. So between the new and the full, you're going to have every answer you want. You're going to be already starting on this new venture or ending another one, feeling like it was meant to be. It's a blessing. I'm excited. I can't wait to, talk about it and express it and, write about it, whatever. It's very, very positive. And just know there isn't actually a rush, although fast energies are coming through. You will have time, and whenever you know that and understand that, it really helps to create more abundance, if that makes sense, because you're being more free and open to the divine timing, I suppose. So that's something to really consider too. But I absolutely love this, and I would love for you to share if you choose to. It could be the twins as the duality of yourself. So once again, you're very much in your head, in your mind about, go figure, about what you're going to do. But I think it's exciting and fun, and it'll definitely bring in prosperity. So that is excellent. And then the last category is that of your surprises and wishes. And I know we've had a lot of surprises, all of us, and some of them were really wonderful, and some of them were not. And that's the way of the world, right? So the ones that you want and the one you choose and the manifestations you put forth, those are what you can feel happy about, okay? And surprise yourself, if you will. And I think you're going to be at a lot of these Sagittarius parties. I do, because I know you guys mingle and have a lot of friends that are Sagittarius. So it could just be surprise parties right and left. Surprise gifts at, holidays. Those are always beautiful. But all in all, the wishes of your making are what are so important. It looks like you have a few possible wishes in your near future. And you have the star. Well, that came up not long ago either, for one of the reasons I don't remember now. But how beautiful is that? As the beautiful, because the star is Aquarian energy, which is beautiful for you, still in Jupiter, benevolent planet of gifts and luck and opportunities and expansion of ideas and, actual endeavors and anything. Love can expand. You're committed now. You're just going to the next level. But it's so beautiful, and it is Aquarius who's very much about sharing the knowledge and the information and being very caring and loving and thinking of others and the highest good for all involved. And you have big plans. You have big, big plans. So could be with an Aquarius, but we are also, after Capricorn season, which starts during Venus in Capricorn as well, from the 23rd of December through about it's the 20th of January, actually. Then it's Aquarius season. So, by gosh, between ending of the retrograde, the new moon, the full moon in your sign, you got some life transformational energies. And you chose this, and it's wonderful because you never, ever want to give up on your dreams. So it starts with the star of the bookends and the 8, wands in fast, positive, energetic, exciting new ventures, and ends with the star with your dreams, surprises, and wishes. So I think that's phenomenal. A lot of energy with your feeling very, very, very courageous, very confident. I would say very confident about what's transpiring. I don't think, although I know you like to change things rapidly, you can, it's true. I think you've had a lot of thought on this one. And that would be very helpful for you, for sure. So there's a lot of indications of air. And actually every single one, except for the wands, excuse me. Yeah. From the King of Swords to the Two of Swords to the star, which is Aquarius, it's really amazing. And the Sagittarius energy, which we're in, and that can come from the wands or Leo and Aries, is just that much more beneficial. Okay, so I love that. That is fantastic. Let me read your oracle messages because I love them. And this one is the wisdom of the oracle. And they're just filled with love and encouragement for all of us. The wording and how it's said is just so beautifully, eloquently spoken. And it just kind of reminds us of stuff we knew in our subconscious, because we're all one collective. So the oracle is the divination that just puts it all into place, and it's there to remind us and to recognize just how incredibly gifted we are and our abilities and all that beautiful stuff. So your message from the oracle of the wisdom of the oracle is to be fair. Wow. Of all the things I've said, other than the fact that that's definitely representative of all swords, Libra especially being the balance and the scales, and that's their main thing in a lot of ways. And that could be representative of the King of Swords. Didn't have to be Gemini, or of course could be Libra. But in all endeavors, the fairness, the partnerships, choosing the right one, of course, and believing and wishing and knowing that it's going to be for the highest good of everyone. It's about, my goodness, to be fair. 38 equals 11, and that becomes a 2. And there you go again with partnerships and the balance of that, you know, the give and take, the compromise, the ability to understand, listen, and recognize the differences that help build in a relationship. You don't always have to be the same, right? That would be boring. So I love that that came out. It's so perfect and so synchronistic with the whole, you know, air vibe that's going on and will be, like I said, for a long time to come. Let me read to you specifically a little bit more about the message from that. It's pretty self-explanatory, but 38. There's 36. And it says, essential meaning, balance, justice, a need to consider options, mutual benefit, the law of cause and effect. That's the law of attraction. You know, what you put out, you're going to receive back. And that's so, so valuable information. It's also so true. But the oracle message, life offers experiences that are challenging and experiences that are nourishing. Yet over time, they strike a balance. You move from being, from status to doing, from discovering to loving, to letting go, to being again. Life is a pendulum swinging between all these states. You will always oscillate back and forth between doing and being. If you are not content with where you are at this moment, remember that all experiences have their place. Accept them without judgment, and you will see how the universe adjusts in perfect balance. It honestly, truly does. I'm so blown away by retrospectively thinking, and sometimes in the present, going, oh my gosh, that is exactly a balance of a financial situation perhaps, or maybe an energy that was passed on or something. It's hard to explain, but you know what I mean. It's all perfectly fair. And then accept them without judgment, and you will see how the universe adjusts in perfect balance. You reap what you sow. For every cause, there's an effect. Wondrous things will be revealed now. That's the star. What do you want? What have you been thinking? What discernment have you put into place? What intelligence and, you know, certainly motivation. I mean, you'll find out soon enough. I just love it. I think it's great to end this year with that kind of motivation, right? And that whole New Year thing. My New Year kind of has already started in a way, to be honest. But that's okay. Everyone has their own thing. And yeah, I always think it's around the solar return. And I'm going to finish with your super attractor manifestation message, which is about creating the life that you want and bringing it into existence, because you feel it in the cause of effect. You put out, you will receive. Like attracts like. You have to have that incredible emotional passion behind it, though. I think that's a real key ingredient in the mix. So your final message for the first half of the month is, oh, I always love this. I love feathers. When I see them, I feel they're a special gift and message from the universe, from my angels, guardian angels, and so forth. The universe powerfully responds the instant I realign with love. So true. That's why I'm all about the love thing. It's the best thing ever. Just keep those dreams. Look at the stars there too. You keep pulling out the stars, Gemini. You're a star. How's that? So keep it going. Believe you're enough. You're everything. I'm excited. Come back for your second half of the month reading. There's more to be had, more to be said, and more interesting things just before your full moon on, like I said, the 18th in the holidays. So thank you again. If you like what you saw, please push the like button. Definitely subscribe as a follower. I would love that. Just I want to build and build my channel, and it takes time, and I'm cool with that. I'm not a person that's going to rush that. You know, the like-minded people that want to be here are, and that's what I love. And you can share if you'd like, and I appreciate that. It's a wonderful gesture that's free. So until next time, have a beautiful first half of December, okay? And I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.